Good day to all of you. Once again, this is your teacher Daniel, and today, i-share ko naman sa inyo on how to transform linear equations from standard o yung tinatawag nating general form to slope-intercept form. Ang objective natin dito, tandaan nyo lang, is to transform one form of equation to another form, and later on, we will try to see what will be the value of m o yung ating slope. Isa kasi sa mga paraan para makuha yung slope nung isang linear equation is kailangan tingnan natin kung ano yung magiging slope intercept niya, because yung slope intercept niya nandoon yung value ni m. So bago muna tayo mapunta doon sa kung paano natin makukuha yung slope from equations using transformations, balikan muna natin yung mga naging example natin before. Isa dun sa mga naging example natin ay yung nag-wholesale ng itlog, yung egg merchandise problem natin, na kunyari meron daw isang tindahan or isang wholesaler ng itlog na nagbebenta ng itlog niya for 5 pesos, and then dinideliver niya yon sa bawat stores round trip, Katarman via Pambuhan, at gumagastos sila ng gasolina which cost them 150 pesos back and forth or round trip. If we will assume that x is the number of eggs that they delivered for that day and y is the total cost of merchandise, makikita natin sa table na to, ito yung nagiging result ito yung nagiging result ng total merchandise nila whenever they deliver certain number of eggs. Like pag nag-deliver sila ng 50, ang total merchandise nila is 400. O baka magtaka kayo kung ano yung nasa gitna. Yung nasa gitna po, ano lang po yan, number of egg times 5. Bakit times 5? Kasi tag 5 piso yung itlog eh. Pero since dinadagdagan pa natin siya from time to time ng 150, which is constant, may constant siyang 150. At bakit merong constant na 150? Kasi yung ginasolina natin. So under that, makikita nyo po dito yung total cost ng merchandise. Kasama na yung pinanggasolina. Parang ganun po. So, if x is 50, y would be 400. If x is 100, y would be 650, and so on and so forth. Pwede natin siyang i-graph. Ganito pong magiging itsura ng graph niya, no? So, ituloy ko lang. If x is 150, the total cost of merchandise will be 900, kasama na yung ginasolina. If the number of eggs delivered is 200, the total cost of merchandise is 1,150. Pagka zoom out pa nga natin yan, mas makikita pa natin yung ibang denominations or yung ibang ordered pair niya. Ano po? Now, itong problem po natin is denoted by y is equivalent to 5x plus 150. Ito po yung naging linear equation po natin, or yung naging linear function po natin, ganun po. Etong y is equivalent to 5x plus 150 is in the slope-intercept form. Ito po yung tinatawag nating slope-intercept form. Ano nga ba yung slope-intercept form? So pag-aralan po natin. The slope-intercept form of a linear function is in the form y is equivalent to mx plus b. Yan po. Yung m, yun yung slope. Kaya nga importante na pagka nakakapag-transform tayo ng equation, or mahalaga sa atin na nakakapag-transform tayo ng linear equation, kasi doon natin nakikita agad yung slope. So given kunyari equations, let's say general form of equation, and then we want to know the exact slope, all we have to do is to transform that general form to slope-intercept form para lumabas yung kanyang slope. So madali lang pag-identify ng slope, yun yung nagiging katabi-lagi ni x. Yung pinaka-constant natin, yung 150, yun yung pinaka-y-intercept natin. Pag sinabi kasing y-intercept, doon nag-i-intersect yung line sa y-axis. And kung naalala nyo pa from our previous videos, inintroduce ko na po sa inyo what is x, Yung x po natin, siya po yung ating independent variable. Tsaka yung y natin, yun po yung ating dependent variable. Kaya siya tinawag na independent kasi tayo yung nagdidikta niyan. Meaning, tayo yung naglalagay dyan kung ilang itlog yung dineliver natin, from 50, 100, 150. Tapos, pagka sinold natin, plus 150 times 5, times 5 plus 150. Pag sinold natin, yung nagiging result, yun yung dependent variable. Kaya siya tinawag na dependent variable kasi nakabase or nakadepende yung magiging result ni y sa kung ano yung value ni x. So, ito na, no? Katulad nga ng example natin before, ang slope ng line po natin is 5. Etong 150 dito, it only gives us a hint na yung y value or yung ordinate ng ating y-intercept is 150. Just to be clear, hindi naman yung 150 agad y-intercept agad yan, hindi po. It only tells us the ordinate of the y-intercept or yung kanyang y value. Pero to be exact, ang po niya, ang y-intercept po niya is the coordinate 0, 150. Okay po? So in this case, kung gusto nating i-check kung 5 ba talaga yung kanyang slope. So we are given already here a line. Ang gagawin na lang natin, computing nga natin yung ating slope given the graph. So if we are going to count kung ilang up meron siya at saka kung ilang run or kung ilang right meron siya, just like the method that we are using in getting the slope given graph, all we have to do is to choose, diba? Choose 2 points, choose a reference and terminal point, then we're going to start to count. Let's say our reference point is A and our terminal point is C. So if we're going to count, take note yung ating denomination, ang denomination natin or yung scale na ginagamit natin for the y-axis is 1:100. So kung mapapansin nyo po, ang scale natin, tanan nyo, 100, 200, 300, 400. So pangit naman kung ang pagbilang natin ng per unit is 1 lang. Hindi naman pwedeng ganun. So ang gagawin natin, ang pagbilang natin ng per unit is 100. Okay po? So let's count. 100. Kasi from 400 to 500, 100 po yun, di ba? 100 units yun. So 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. So yung ating, kung how many ups there are from our reference point to terminal point, that is 500. Now ilang right kaya meron siya? Again, tingnan uli natin yung scale ng ating x-axis. Ang scale ng ating x-axis is by 50 or 1:50, So pansinin niyo mabuti, 50, 100, 150, 200. So ang pagbilang natin by 50. So subukan natin. That is 50, 100. So yung magiging denominator natin hindi 2. Hindi rin 200. Kasi kung bibilangin natin using this scale, 50, 100. Tingnan nyo po yun sa baba, sa x-axis. Di po ba? Ang scale natin is 1:50. Yun po, klaruhin ko lang po yun. So, yung ating magiging denominator would be 100. And 500 divided by 100 is 5. Therefore, our slope is 5. Which is, yun nga po yung slope talaga natin. Yan. Yan po yung ating slope. Now, i-check naman natin yung kanyang y-intercept. Kung mapapansin nyo po, yung line po natin nag-i-intersect sa y-axis at nag-intersect siya sa y-axis at 0, 150. Kaya nga po yung 150 natin sa ating equation, dito sa equation natin, it tells us the ordinate of our ordered pair or coordinate that pertaining to the y-intercept. It tells us the ordinate of our y-intercept. Now, ano naman yung tinatawag nating standard form or general form of linear equation? Okay, so the standard or general form of linear equations or linear functions is denoted by ax plus by is equals to c, or in other books that is also the same as ax plus by plus c is equivalent to 0. Again, yung letter c here, yung po yung constant natin. Yung a at saka yung b, those are real numbers. So let's say we have y is equivalent to 5x plus 150. How are we going to transform this into, by the way, what is the form of y is equivalent to 5x plus 150? See, so the form of this function or linear equation is in the slope-intercept form. Nakikita agad natin dyan yung slope niya, tsaka yung constant natin o yung ordinate ng y-intercept. Ita-transform natin siya ngayon into general form o yung tinatawag nating standard form. So, paano nga kaya? All we have to do is to ano kaya yung pinakamagandang gawin? Ang pinakamagandang gawin siguro is i-transpose natin si 5x sa kabila. Ano po? So, let us transpose 5x. That will be negative 5x. And since positive si y, so that is plus y. It's equivalent to 150. Alam nyo mga langga, sa totoo lang, okay na yan eh. Naka-ano na siya, naka-general form na yan o naka-standard form na yan. Ang issue na lang dito, which is nagiging practice din ng mga mathematicians natin or yung mga mathematics practitioners natin, ang nagiging tradition dito is kailangan ayusin natin yung sign ni 5x kasi negative siya, so para kuminis siyang tingnan, makinis siyang tingnan, gagawin natin siyang positive. So paano gagawin yun? Ang gagawin natin is we are going to multiply everything by negative 1. So what will happen? That will become 5x, because negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5. Negative 1 times negative 5 is positive 5. So 5x positive y times negative 1 is negative y. And that will be equivalent to 150 times negative 1 is negative 150. Negative 150. Yan po. Sa mga tuwid, ito, naka-general form na yan or naka-standard form na yan. Pero sa ibang books, mas prefer na lang na ini-equate na lang yan into 0. Parang talaga, makinis talaga tingnan. So, ang gagawin natin, ita-transpose uli natin si negative 150. So, that will become 5x minus y plus 150 is equivalent to 0. So, sa madaling salita, pwede to, pwede rin to. Pareho silang naka-general form or standard form. Okay po? Now, let us have a few more examples. Let's say we want to transform from slope-intercept form to general form. O baka magtaka kayo, 4x minus 1 is equals to y. Kailangan ang itsura niya maging ganito. Tapos baka baka magmadali kayo, sabihin nyo, naka-general form na yan. Hindi po yan naka-general form. Tingnan nyo babaliktarin ko lang po. Babaliktarin ko siya using symmetric property of equality. That will become y is equivalent to 4x minus 1. O diba? So what is the form of this function? The form of this function is, sa makatuwid, that is what? Slope-intercept form. Naka-slope-intercept po siya. That is equivalent to, or kawangki niya yung y is equivalent to mx plus b, wherein 4 is the slope. Naka-slope-intercept form po siya. Hindi pa siya naka-general. So, ang gagawin natin siyang general form. So, ang mangyayari niyan, let us transpose 4x to the other side of the equation. That will become negative 4x plus y is equivalent to negative 1. Ngayon, kikinisin na lang natin para mas magandang tingnan na hindi negative yung numerical coefficient ni x. Gagawin natin siyang positive. So, all we have to do is to multiply everything by negative 1. That will become 4x minus y is equivalent to positive 1. So, ito, naka-general form na siya or naka-standard form na siya. So, kung sa ibang books natin i-refer, much better siguro na or pwede nating i-transpose pa si negative 1 sa kabila. That will become 4x minus y minus 1 is equivalent to 0. So, ito, pareho tong tama. Okay po? Kung mas prefer nyo yung una, ito. Kung mas prefer nyo to, okay lang. Naka-general form naman yan. Kung mas prefer nyo to, okay lang. Naka-general na rin lang naman yan. Or standard. Okay po? Let us have some few more examples. Let's say we want to transform, again, what is the form of this equation? The form of this equation is in the slope-intercept form, and we want to translate it into general form. So let us try. So all we have to do is to transpose negative 9x to the other side, diba? So magiging positive 9x plus y is equivalent to 2. Or we can have this and we can also have this 9x plus y transpose positive 2, it will become negative 2 equivalent to 0. So pwede rin yan. So now we have a general form. We now have a general form of a linear equation. Now, paano siya ibabalik into slope-intercept form? Ganun din. Let us just apply properties in algebra. So, let's say we have 9x plus y minus 2 is equals to 0, and we want to know the slope. Kunyari lang, Siyempre, naka-general form siya, hindi pa masyadong obvious kung ano talagang slope niya. Not unless i-transform natin siya into slope-intercept form. So, let us try. That would be That will be, ano kayo yung pinakamadaling gawin? Pinakamadaling gawin, imbis na i-transpose natin si 9x at saka si negative 2 sa kabila, why not si positive y na lang i-transpose natin para isa lang yung tinatranspose natin. So that is the same as 9x minus 2 is equivalent to transpose positive x, that will become transpose positive y, that will become negative y. And para mas makinis talaga siyang tingnan, let us avoid negative y's. So let us multiply everything by negative 1. That will become, or that is the same as, negative 9x plus 2 is equivalent to y. Or, by symmetric property of equality, that is also the same as y is equivalent to negative 9x plus 2. Ano yung slope? Again, ang slope natin is negative 9. O, diba? Mas nakikita, kung meron kang general form at gusto mong malaman yung slope mo, hindi agad-agad 9. Kailangan i-transform mo muna siya para makita mo yung totoong slope. At pag na-transpose na natin, di nakikita natin na negative 9 pala yung kanyang slope. So, hinay-hinay tayo sa pag-distinguish ng pag-distinguish ng form ng equations. Kasi baka naka-general form pa siya. So, wala pang slope yun. Not unless, i-transform natin siya into slope-intercept form at saka lang natin makikita yung tunay niyang slope. In this case, that is negative 9 or negative 9 over 1. Ganun po. Now, let us try some few more examples. Let's say we want to transform this general form into we want to transform this equation from slope-intercept form to general form. So what will be the general form of this equation? Again, all we have to do is to transpose this term to the other side. That will become negative 2 over 7x plus y is equivalent to 1. And take note, anong property kaya yung ginamit natin? Ang ginamit nating property is addition property of equality. Ngayon, may mga fraction tayo, no? Due to this slope, may mga fraction tayo na value ni a. Ganun lang nangyayari. So, para to avoid that, ang discard dyan, isa-isahin ko lang, unahin natin yung sign para makinis tingnan. We can multiply it by negative 1. We can multiply everything by negative 1. That will become 2 over 7x minus y is equivalent to negative 1. Now, ang problema na lang natin, yung fraction. Yung fractional value ni a. Yung a value. So, ang gagawin natin, let us multiply everything by 7. Actually, pwede namang sabay. Pwede man sigurong, pwede natin gawing i-multiply everything by negative 7. Pero ang gusto ko lang, makita nyo muna, step by step, kung anong nangyayari dun sa ating equation. So, una, tinanggal lang muna natin yung negative. Naging positive siya. That is by means of multiplying everything by negative 1. Which is allowed, That is allowed in math because that is the same as multiplying both sides by a number or a real number. So this time we're going to multiply both sides by 7. That is also the same as multiplying everything by 7. Ganun po. Multiplying every term by 7. That's the same. So what is 2 over 7 times 7? Makakancel yung 7, di po ba? If you're going to multiply 7 here, makakancel po yung 7. So that is the same as 2x. Now, negative y times 7 is negative 7y. And negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. So ito okay na to. Naka-general form na yan. Kung ibabase uli natin sa ibang books, that is also the same as 2x minus 7y plus 7 is equivalent to 0. Ayan. So pareho silang tama, Pareho lang pong tama. Now, paano naman natin ibabalik? Paano natin ibabalik into slope-intercept form? Kunyari, ito yung given sa problem, pinapahanap sa atin yung slope. So, paano natin kukunin yung slope? All we have to do is to transform it back to slope-intercept form para makita natin yung totoong slope. So, mangyayari niyan, let us just copy 2x minus 7y plus 7 is equivalent to 0. In this case, imbis na is-transpose natin si 2x at saka si 7, dalawa pa yung ita-transpose natin, ito na lang, transpose natin siya. So that will become 2x plus 7 is equivalent to, that will become positive 7y. And syempre may 7 pa tayo, so let us divide everything, every term by 7. Let us divide this term by 7. Let us divide this by 7. Let us divide this by 7. Is that allowed in math? Yes, that is allowed in math. So, 7 divided by 7 is 1. No need to write 1. So, ang naiwan na lang is y. So, ayan, babalik tayo sa dati. That is 2 over 7x plus 7 divided by 7 is 1. Or, by symmetric property, of equality, that is also the same as y is equivalent to 2 over 7x plus 1. Ayan. So, ano yung slope natin? Ang slope natin, eto. The slope is 2 over 7. Now, let us try to have another example. Let's say we have a linear equation. Y is equivalent to negative 3/4 x plus 2. This equation is in the slope-intercept form. We want to know the general form of this linear equation. All we have to do is to transpose this term to the other side. That is also the same as adding adding positive 3/4 x to both sides of the equation, or simply transpose that term to the other side. That will become 3/4 x plus y is equivalent to 2. Now, we want to remove this, or we want to change this fractional form of a. We can multiply both sides by 4. So multiply here 4 for this quantity, and then multiply this by 4. Now, for this term, we are going to, what is this? We are going to use distributive property. So 4 times 3/4, cancel 4, that will be 3x. And then 4 times y will be positive 4y. Now, 2 times 4 is 8. Oh. So, ito, okay na to. Naka-general form na yan. Now, kung gusto pa nating isunod siya dun sa ax plus by plus c is equals to 0, so pwede pa nating i-transpose si 8 sa kabila. So, it will become 3x plus 4y. Take note, whenever you transpose, you change the sign. So, positive 8 becomes negative 8. And that is equivalent to 0. That is also the same as adding here and adding here both sides by negative 8. So, whenever you add negative 8 to both sides of the equation, 8 minus 8 becomes 0. Now, gusto nating ibalik to into slope-intercept form. So, paano? 3x plus 4y minus 8 is equivalent to 0. Para hindi na tayo mahirapan, si 4y na lang i-transpose natin. So, that becomes 3x minus 8 is equivalent to negative 4y. And then, let us divide both sides by negative 4y. Let us divide both sides by negative 4. Sorry. So, let us divide this by negative 4. Cancel. That is 1. So, let us just write y. Here, we could actually express this as, kasi may common denominator lang naman sila, diba? Na common denominator there is negative 4. So, we can treat them as separate fractions. So, that is also the same as 3x over negative 4. And then here, negative divided by negative will be positive. And then 8 divided by 4. O, paano nangyari yon? Bakit ganon? Kasi meron tayong double negative. May negative sa taas, may negative sa baba. So, instead, pinag-combine na lang po natin. Naging positive po siya. Now, gagawin naman natin, ayusin natin tong fraction na to, and then let us try to evaluate this. So, that becomes negative 3/4 x plus 8 divided by 4 is 2. It's equivalent to y. And by symmetric property, that is also the same as y. It's equivalent to negative 3/4 x plus 2. And our slope here, ito po, our slope is negative 3/4. Now, at this point, we are now ready to identify the slope given equations. So, let's say we want to know the slope of this equation. All we have to do is to make use of the properties inequality. Those properties we learned in basic algebra. So in this case, we could manipulate it in such a manner that we are going to transpose 3x. Transpose natin si 3x sa kabila. So that becomes 4y is equivalent to negative 3x plus 8. And then let us divide every term, everything from left to right side of the equation. Let us divide it by 4. Let us divide this by 4. Let us divide this by 4. That becomes, cancel 4, that becomes y is equivalent to negative 3/4 x plus 8 divided by 4 is just 2. So that our slope there is negative 3/4. Ito po. And our slope is negative 3/4. Now, we are given here another what is this? Another equation. The same thing. This is the same. This is the same with the other examples. This is also a linear equation. The only problem there is that we are dealing here with fractions. So again, let us try to manipulate this using properties, inequality. Those properties that we've learned from basic algebra. Now, it will be much more convenient if we transpose immediately 2/3 x to the other side of the equation. That will become negative 1/4 y is equivalent to negative 2/3 x plus 1, because 1 is positive there. Now, ganito na. Para hindi magsabay-sabay yung mga operations natin, hindi tayo masyado mahirapan, multiply mo lang natin muna lahat kay negative 1. Pareho din yan kapareho lang din yan nung nag-multiply ka both sides by negative 1. So this becomes positive 1/4 y. This becomes positive 2/3 x minus 1. Ngayon ang problema, may 1/4 pa tayo. So kung sa tingin nyo kaya, paano magiging 1 tong 1/4 na to? Para ang maiiwan dyan, y na lang. So ang gagawin lang natin, why not, i-multiply natin by 4. Di po ba? And whenever we multiply here, 4, kailangan mag-multiply din tayo sa kabila ng 4 para patas, para manatili siyang equal. So 4 times 1/4 is, let us just cancel 4. 4 times 1/4 is 4/4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. That becomes y. 4 na 1/4, 1. Parang ganun po. Now, let us try to use distributive property here. 2 times 4 is 8. 8/3 x minus 1 times 4 is just 4. So therefore, our new linear equation is y is equivalent to 8/3 or 8/3 x minus 4. And our slope there is 8/3. This is our slope. Okay, so at this point in time, pag-aaralan na naman natin yung ibang form naman ng linear equations. Ito siguro yung topic na hindi ata kasama dun sa competency po natin. Pero just na lang, ito, parang pinaka-bonus nyo na lang po. Kasi alam nyo mga langga, ito ata yung pinakagamit na form ng equation. Ang kagandahan nitong may advantage tong tinatawag nating point slope form of linear equation. Kaya makinig kayo mabuti. Now, the point slope form of linear equation, from the name itself, point and a slope. So when this kind of form, meron siyang slope at saka meron siyang coordinate AB. This coordinate AB here pertains to a random not really random, but a specific point along the line, or along the line of the linear equation. So will it pertain to any point? Yes, it could pertain to any point, for as long as that point is along the line of the linear equation. In other books, lalo na sa mga analytic geometry po natin, this AB here is replaced by HK or KH. So parang ang mangyayari niyan, y minus k tas m times the quantity x minus h, where HK, so ito napapalitan to minsan sa ibang books, napapalitan to ng k, ito naman napapalitan ng h, wherein etong AB napapalitan to ng HK, wherein HK is a specific or particular point along the line of a certain linear equation. Ganun po. Now, for convenience, we can make use of AB naman. So, let's say we have here y minus 1/2 is equivalent to 2 times x plus 1. So, in this case, if you'll just observe, the form of this, what is this? This linear equation is in the point slope form. Naka-point slope form po siya. Naka-point slope form po siya. Ganon. And from this form, we could immediately identify the slope. The value of slope or the value of m is 2. Ito po. Ano yung 1/2 at saka ano yung positive 1? O bago natin yan subukan, kailangan kinisin muna natin. Ayusin muna natin na para yung itsura niya ganito talaga, lalo na tong mga operations na to. Kaya kailangan gayang-gaya natin siya or kawangking-kawangki. So ang mangyayari niyan, y minus 1/2 is equivalent to 2 times x minus, lalagay pa tayo ng maliit na parenthesis dyan or grouping symbol, negative 1. Ayan. Bakit ganyan? Kasi negative times negative, positive naman. So, ang ginawa ko lang naman, simple lang po, ginaya ko lang to. Para alam natin kung ano talaga yung value ni HK. So, the value of HK here, HK is mauna muna si H, negative 1, and then yung K natin o yung pinaka what is this, yung pinaka B natin is 1/2. Ayan. Negative 1 and 1/2 is a point along the line. So, let us try to prove it. Anyway, alam naman natin yung slope na, Kung alam naman natin na yung slope, let us just out of curiosity, kung yung itong point nga ba na to, it passes through the line. Now, if you're going to observe, what is the value of y there? The value of y is 1/2. So that's the value of y. The value of x here is negative 1, or the value of h. So the value of x there will be negative 1. Now what will happen? I think 1/2. Let us just substitute minus 1/2 is equivalent to 2 times the value of x is negative 1. Plus 1. Okay, so 1/2 minus 1/2 is 0, and 2 times negative 1 plus 1 is 0. This is 0, right? Tapos 0 times 2 is 0. So therefore they're equal, meaning this equation here is true. There's another way to do that. So try natin. Yamang yung value ni h, or yung pinaka x natin is ito po, negative 1, tapos yung pinaka y natin is 1/2. Ano kayang mangyayari kung i-translate natin to into slope intercept form? So how? Again, y minus 1/2 is equivalent to, let us use distributive property here. So that becomes 2x plus 2. And then let us transpose this term, negative 1/2. So that becomes y is equivalent to 2x plus 2 plus 1/2. Kasi si negative 1/2, whenever you transpose that to the other side of the equation, it becomes positive 1/2. So you have 2x, 2 plus 1/2 is 2 and 1/2, and then translate it into improper fraction, that is 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1, 5. That is the same as 5 over 2. So positive or plus 5 over 2. Now, if the value of x is negative 1, will the value of y become 1/2? Let's try. So, y is equivalent to 2 times the value of x, negative 1, plus 5 over 2. So y there becomes 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 plus 5 over 2. Y is equivalent to, si negative 2, pwede natin siyang express as as fraction na ang denominator 2. All we have to do is to multiply 2 on the numerator and 2 on the denominator. So that becomes 2 times 2 is 4 over 2. O, parang magic, ano? Anong ginawa natin? Ginawa natin, nag-multiply tayo kay negative 2 times, nag-multiply tayo ng 2 over 2. For what purpose? Para magkaroon lang siya ng denominator na 2. So, from our previous videos, naipakita ko na po yung ganyang technique. Now, negative 2 na lang times 2 is 4, negative 4, sorry, over 2. Since negative 4 over 2 na siya, pareho na sila ni 5 over 2. Ang gagawin na lang natin, magsusubtract na lang tayo. So that is, copy the common denominator, and then negative 4 plus 5. That is 1/2, which is correct. Therefore, this coordinate here, or the coordinate, this coordinate here pertains to a point. That point is along this line. For we are pretty much sure that that coordinate there that pertains to a particular point passes or is along this line or along this linear equation. Now, ano ba yung point? Bakit natin tinuturo sa inyo yung point slope form of the line? Kasi itong point slope form, malaki yung gamit nito whenever we are given, let's say, a point and a slope. We could identify the equation. So later in our discussion, we will be given parts, tapos kukunin natin yung equation. Let's say, bibigyan lang tayo ng slope at saka ng point, then we are going to determine the equation. Ganun ang mangyayari. Kaya itong topic na to, itong form ng equation or form ng linear equation na to, napaka-importante po. Now, mag-iwan po ako sa inyo ng home quiz. I want you to answer this at home. Just try to answer this at home. I want you to transform the following into slope-intercept form, and please determine the slope of the following linear equations. Especially for number 4 and 5, kung napapansin nyo po, itong dalawang to, it is in the point slope form. Kukunin natin yung kanyang slope intercept form. Ganun po.